What's up YouTube, Phoenix Deity here bringing you guys another Black Clover Phantom Knights video. So, in today's video, bringing you guys another Phantom Knights Academy. So, in the last video we did discuss the kind of strategy for defenders, pairing them and how effective that is for Tower of Dreams and for Wizard King 2, since those two are undoubtedly the hardest two pieces of content in this game so far. So, this video, we will be discussing offensive units and basically just that. The next one, we will be talking about relics. There we go. Next one, we'll be talking about relics and accessories, because I know that's a big one and a lot of people don't have the Necklace of Fate or the Mysterious Key. I think that's the name, but the Mysterious Key. And they actually will kind of greatly affect how you play and go through content. So, let's get started into this one as we talk about offensive units. And we don't really have much up here, but I'll go into details about how and why I think these are somewhat kind of must-go slash, well, you don't exactly need them, but these are somewhat of as close as must-haves as can possibly be to units that you should be using for Tower of Dreams. So let's get started. All right, so before we continue, make sure this is okay. So, before we continue, I do want to just add in, this is the team that I used to beat floor 60 of Tower of Dreams last month. So, I'll probably try this setup again, or maybe change it up. I don't know yet, but this is essentially what I use. And if you're like, good unit, how do I? Okay, I probably can't, but good unit, Mereoleona, good unit, 6-star tag Reveach. Why? His skill 1, people slept on him, but his skill 1, and yes, he's still 6-star to this day. Maybe one day I'll 7-star him, but as for now, I'm saving my materials for 2nd anniversary. So, offensive characters. So, Mereoleona is a special little character in her own right, because she does cover basically everything. She has the damage. Wait. Okay, yeah. I know I'm going crazy, but she has the damage output also paired with being AoE, so really good offensive, 1275 attack. Her defense is on the low side, so it's like she does honestly get kind of battered if you do use her, which is why, once again, I did say pair her with a defender that either goes to the front or has a higher hate up than a 2XL. Because them targeting her will not be fun. She does give herself defense, but not that great. But otherwise, she can put up damage with this, with her Arcane Art and her skill 1. Her skill 2 can greatly raise her attack and crit rate. So for not only herself but allies behind. So like, is it still here? This is So, pretty much like what I did, for my formation 2, which is turtle, I always wait about, I really don't know how long I wait. I wait a few seconds in this while I'm in this formation, then I swap to formation 2. Turtle formation does have a higher buff technique rate, so going there's a better chance of all your units doing their kind of debuff slash buff skills. Which is the main reason why, I put Mereoleona to the front. She gives her buff. She gives a crit buff to tag Fuegoleon, tag Charlotte, and tag Reveach. So I probably don't need that photo anymore, but it's very good. So once again, she is a character that's kind of an all-arounder. She has the buff. She can do damage. She has tankiness to an extent. So that's what makes her a really good offensive character. I already made a gem video, so for this Black Clover Academy mini-series, I most likely won't make another one. But for her, I would prioritize potentially like 2 HP and 2 defense, or just 2 attack and 2 defense. Like, I think she'll work the best with that. Ability-wise, you can honestly kind of do anything you want ability-wise. Maybe 1 attack hasten for this skill. I I don't know. I guess you can do buff hasten for this, but it would only apply to her depending on what formation you use as formation 1. And then with the new gems, if you can manage to get a, well, it really depends on the game. So if the game does manage to give us like an HP gem with damage reduction, or an HP gem that has chance to take 0 damage, then that would ideally be best for Mereoleona, because then, you know, she increases her own hate, but you also have like a 15% chance, should be 15, but 15% chance for her to take 0 damage, which is really good, you know, factoring that she does everything here. So that's a very viable thing for her and something great. That's pretty much it. I'll wait until the kind of accessory and relic video to go into kind of accessories and relics for certain characters. Did I mean to add them here? I'm thinking. Also, if you like the OST, it's the Mega Man Star Force soundtrack. Oh yeah, I did. Mainly just using that because it was one of my like first like Nintendo game, well DS games, and holds a special place in my heart. I love Mega Man. Anyway, I do have Tag Mereoleona and Fuegoleon on the list, kind of for just kind of here for their damage output mainly. So XL like her Spirit Dive, Orion, I probably shouldn't have her here, so I'll get rid of her. But her Fuego, no, God, her I'm drawing blanks, I'm sorry. But her Spirit Dive and Royal Knight Asta are, and Tag Black Asta are all in contention for, like, they're in a weird spot where they can potentially get a 7-star buff, and I really do think that's the case, like 100% without a doubt, relatively soon in all honesty. So it's kind of worth to just look at her just for now, but she could very well be worth it, you know. So 920, I know I'm going on a quick tangent, but if we do look at Noelle, so 920, he ended up with 840 attack, and then his 7-star version has 1200, so that's what, 400? A little less than 400, around 300, 360, yeah, 360 extra attack, so that's pretty good. Pretty good. So if Mereoleona gets even half of that 360 is going to be a good increase for her. Next up we have Valkyrie dress Noelle. So, Valkyrie dress Noelle. Her 7-star has made her a lot more valuable than people would give her credit for, so yeah, I could see Tag Mereoleona having 14k. Yeah. That'd be insane. But anyway, she's mainly a amazing damage dealer because her skill 1, not her skill 1, sorry, but again, because her AoE ranges are extremely good. There's been a lot of towers where, especially on the tankier floors, where there's enemies in kind of 2 lines. There's one line with like 3 enemies and another line with 2. So skills like her skill 1 and skill 3 are very appreciated because they're really good. Her AoE range for her arcane arts is exceptionally well as well. And not only that, but there's also a great defense raise. That's supposed to be bigger. So outside of that, she's just overall a really solid character with damage, like damaging unit, like able to deal damage and give herself dodge is pretty good. So gem wise, I would just kind of do, I don't know, if you are using her and you notice that she does end up getting targeted for quite a bit or quite a lot, then, you know, maybe give her 1 or 2 defense gems. But outside of that, I would just kind of go all attack gems for her, and then, sorry about that, and then ability wise, you know, attack hasten, because it will be all of her skills will be hastened, which is really nice. And then let's see, 770 speed isn't really the greatest for attack boost, but you can go 1 attack boost and 2 defense pen, or 1 defense pen, 1 attack boost, 1 attack hasten, and Barrier nullification. Yeah, I guess barrier nullification wouldn't be that bad of a skill, you know. You can stop invincibility, which is really relevant for floor 60 and floor 50 as well for this current tower. So tower with 61 floors, just in case someone's watching this video, you know, like months from now. That, you know, 61 floors, you know, 50 being the one with Tag Spirit Dive and Black Asta with both of their invincibility, and then floor 60 being, you know, the kind of somewhat devil fight, you know, Lumiere Licked, Devil, Vanessa and Rouge with Tag Ravitch. You know, one of their formation swaps is invincibility as well, so having that there is actually very good. So barrier nullification might become the new meta soon for attackers at the very least. So yeah, that's it for Noelle. Now, kind of the king of attackers, probably without a doubt. You know, to this day, he still holds up extremely well among attackers. Great HP, great attack, great defense. Speed is intelligence, he doesn't really care about that much, even though it does help for his skill 2. But overall, you know, Black Divider, chance of enemies, medium chance to stop their for Arcane Art Seal. Oh, like overall, this is just a really solid skill. It has good range, especially when paired with another unit on this list. Then we have the Black Divider Half Moon, so damage to enemies within range and move, but like removing buffs from multiple targets will pretty much always be kind of a reason why he's one of the best attackers. That will pretty much always have relevance for tower. You know, again, there's enemies that have invincibility. They give themselves dodge. They give themselves hasten. So he's like his skill 1 will probably forever stay extremely relevant and be really good. Him giving himself invincibility is actually very relevant as well, because in most cases, if you are using a formation where, I guess this mainly applies for the EX Jack team the most, but for that, where you're using a formation where like you kind of have A rank / B rank skill technique, well, like A rank techniques, aka meaning that they will, you know, activate faster, a bit faster. He can kind of just chain his invincibility altogether, and it's very good. So he's very viable for a tank thanks to his like defense and thanks to his skill 2. Even though it is very short, if you give him like Hero Flag or what's the other one? Or Storm Brooch is Storm Brooch. Or the ring from the All Out War defense quest, that's also really good for him. I think the ring for the defense quest is a bit better because you have infinite action. It's not, you know, limited like the other items that I listed. And then the multi-hit attack to random enemies within range, but still really good. And the odds of it actually hitting everyone is really good. The odds of it hitting just like, what, 7 hits on one person, like, and you're fighting a full board, it's like, you know, what's the odds? So without a doubt, he still is, you know, one of the best attackers in the game, if not just best attacker in the game. Always will have some relevance unless we get like an attacker that does everything more, everything better than him, which I do kind of see, you know, eventually. But really good. Gem wise, for me at least, I have two defense pierce and 2 attack boost. Some people, you know, pretty much a gem set for attackers are almost always the same. It's almost always the same. You're almost always going to get defense pen because it's always going to be relevant. The higher you go in tower, the tankier enemies will be. If an enemy has 1,000 defense, then that means your attacks are bypassing what, like 15%, I think. I think it is like just with 1 defense gem, I think it's 20, sorry, my bad. So with just 1, you're bypassing 20% of that defense, which is literally just 200, so it's really good. Next up, attack boost for... He doesn't have that high speed, in all honesty, so part of me does kind of regret putting attack boost on him. Well, yeah, attack boost on him. But he kind of works well with or without it. Same goes for barrier nullification again, you know. We're gonna get a lot more enemies with invincibility, formation swaps, with dodge, with counter, everything like that. So having the chance to bypass that is actually going to be very good, you know, if you can. Because, like, you can only just imagine how annoying it is if you get a character to just about, like, really low red HP, and then they formation swap and then give an invincibility, and that prolongs the game, and let's say you run out of invincibility. You know, that gives them a chance to potentially fully wipe your team, so... Barrier Nullification, low-key a really good gem, and I actually might replace one attack boost gem for that. Or one defense pierce gem for that on my Black Divider, so... I'll keep you guys updated on that though, because I know some people are interested in what gems I do use, so... Yeah. On to the next one. Charlotte and Yami. So... They're able to put up really good damage paired with being, like... Single target arcane art with fixed damage. Fixed damage is always going to be relevant to an extent. If you have formation swap, well, formation match, that's really good. Damage to enemies within range, once again, same thing as Noelle for her relevance. Excuse me. But yeah, same thing for Noelle with her relevance is that the range is really good for her. You know, again, there's enemies that will be like 3 in a line just like this. There's enemies that will be 2 in a line. So having that range is really good. Single target healing is very good. That kind of means that you don't have to sacrifice damage to run a kind of an enhancer or a healer, right? So having this a part of her kit makes her like very viable as an offensive unit as well. So she can put up numbers while being able to heal your tank or heal a unit on the back line that like invincibility might have missed, or like your opponent buff bands and they don't get invincibility, so they get hit a few times, so that would actually help a lot. And lastly, a great AoE range, you know. It targets one enemy, so like one enemy in the front row, and everything behind that enemy will get hit, so it's really, really nice. And most of the time, it is kind of like a full board AoE unless there's like 2 enemies in the front row. So, it's really good gem-wise. I would actually go 2 attack, 2 wisdom for her. You want the wisdom up so you get a lot more healing. I'm trying to remember. I think mine heals for about 2,000? I could be wrong. I really don't remember. Because it's been so long since Tower, and I really don't use tag Charlotte and Yami outside of that, which kind of is sad. I mean, that doesn't change the fact that they still are a good unit, but I kind of just use them because of their healing. So I think it's about 2,000 healing. So with gems, it should be able to get to just about 3,000 healing, which is really good. You know, seeing how most that's half of most 7 stars HP. So something like that is not something you should take lightly. And then, you know, gem wise, it's never wrong to go with recovery haste for her, because it will always be helpful. It will also be relevant. Then, you know, the same attack haste, defense pierce, barrier nullification, sorry. You can go speed boost because her intelligence isn't higher, her int isn't higher than her speed, so that will hold some relevance. Next up we have Noelle. Fuego attack, Fuegoleona and Noelle. Their full board AoE is a great addition for that. Like, I'm gonna get repetitive and I'm sorry about that, but again, you know, solid range. I think this will speak for itself. That's very good range. That's pretty much irrelevant, sadly. Good AoE range for the skill 1. Multi-hit, just, it doesn't really do anything, which kind of sucks. And then you have the arcane art with a full map AoE with the high chance to inflict an AA seal, which is very nice. And that's kind of just it about the character. They have really high defense being an attacker, you know, almost 500 defense, which is really good. Solid attack, good HP. So again, kind of just the same gem set I've been saying for attackers as well. Now, one of the newer entries, Long Grace Infernal. This is the character I did say pairs well with Black Divider. So HP, you know, kind of, it's not like Black Divider level HP, but it's still good HP. Good attack, good speed, and good int. Int will help for the... Sorry. Int will help with the chances to move, because that is based off int, because it's somewhat of a debuff. So being able to move enemies to one row is really good, and then their skill 1 pairs really well with that because they're all going to be in a row, you're going to be able to hit a row. Self-explanatory. I did mistranslate this, sorry about that, but they do increase attack power and crit rate. So self-sufficient along those lines, which is really nice. And that's kind of all I can really talk about them for. Their only bad side is like 12 attacks, kind of limited. Like single target, that's really good. 12 attacks versus one enemy is really good, but like AoE, it's like, okay, like that and then random damage, like it's not the best, right? So like, same thing with his gems. I don't really think that you would give him wisdom gems, even though that it helps with his skill 2 and helps with the movement, but there's an extra space there. Of all things, I noticed an extra space there. Okay, let's move on. Now, somewhat only relevant for their arcane art, but being able to do high amounts of single target damage and able to apply stop, really good. And then the reduction of crit rate, reduction of defense, reduction of speed. Yeah, they reduce enemies crit, so that's good. So if enemy takes your buff, then you just say, oh, hey, guess what? It's lowered, so it goes to neutral essentially. Then solid range, but they still hit really hard even though they have that much. You still would go attack boost with them. You still would go defense pierce. I don't really think you use wisdom on them. This is just me personally, because they have all attack skills. You can go attack haste, so you just get all these skills faster, which is really good. Next up, full AoE, really good, solid. Attacking the line pairs well with Logris and Finral. Another AoE that you pretty much won't use in most cases. Solid HP. Same thing for him gem wise. Then moving, maybe just one intelligence gem for him, but nothing that major. Sir, self-sufficient himself. Again, kind of the longest fault for this. I didn't add transcendent damage, so that's my fault. Then solid ranges, if enemies are kind of like grouped up or spaced out kind of weirdly, this is really good. Then self buff, like really good offensive options here. Oh, sorry. I really didn't talk about him much. Him or Devil, so that back and then that back. So yeah, still really good to this day, in my opinion, for him. Still really good to this day. Solid defense. He can be a frontline character if you want him to. Like, still can deal damage if you give him attack gems. Then null units can get every gem ability, so you can pretty much go whatever you want for him. You can build him as an attacker, as a defender, as a debuff, so good. EX Jack. Same deal with him. He can get every gem, so you can get hasten on attack, hasten on buff, defense, penetration, and then speed boost. I'd probably just go 2 speed boosts on him, because that's what? I believe 2 is 30%? Sorry, I do not memorize like gem abilities. Or well, ranks of gem abilities. But I think 2 attack boost is 33%, sorry. So 33% of 810 is I'm not gonna do that math. I'm not gonna make a fool of myself and say a bad number. But at the very least, it should be around about 200, at the very least 200, so he can get a lot of attack, so really good. And last but not least, tag Spirit Dive plus Black Asta. So kind of the same deal. This kind of sucks, so I honestly wouldn't recommend buff hasten for them. I'd recommend like maybe attack hasten, because this is good. This is really good. Tag attacks are random, so attack haste won't really affect tag attacks, which does kind of suck, but better than nothing in all honesty. 4XL damage, buff transfer seal, stronger, all solid characters all in their own right. So I think that will wrap it up for just kind of the offensive side of units you can bring for Tower of Dreams and Wizard King 2, and just for events in general. I want to thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that juicy YouTube stuff. Today's going to be a double upload, so I'll be uploading Zenonzard probably a bit later, probably maybe like 8 o'clock p.m. my time. So hope you guys enjoyed. Love you guys, and catch you guys in the next one. Peace.